this is Nadine with Happy Eating Healthy. Today I have a delicious crock pot beef stew that I'm going to show you how to make. It's actually quite easy to make. There's a little bit of prep time because you have to peel the potatoes and the carrots and you need to cut them up. But beyond that, it really doesn't take that long. So I've gone ahead and I've already peeled the potatoes and the carrots, so all we need to do is chop everything up, blend it, and put it in the crock pot. So let's show you how we do that. I have my crock pot here, and I'm going to take my meat, and I'm just going to dump it all onto this cutting board. Most of it I'm not going to do anything to. If it's this size, I will just stick it in. I won't worry about it. This size, I'm going to cut it in half. Oops, let me get my butcher knife. I just want to cut it in half. So I'm just going to look at the meat, and if it's bigger than I would want to have in my mouth, I'm going to cut it. If it's a size that it would be fine being in my mouth, I'm not going to do anything with it. But I don't really like huge chunks of meat. So I will probably cut half or more of this meat to get it the right size. And once I've cut it, I just get it in the crock pot. I have all my meat cut. Now I just want to get this board all cleaned up so I'm ready to do my vegetables. The vegetables are not going to go into the pot yet. What I like to do is, I know that 2 pounds of meat was almost 4 cups. So I'm hoping that these vegetables I have will come to about 4 cups. So I'm just going to cut them and put them in there. And with the vegetables, I just want them to be bite-sized pieces. So first I get them about the depth that I want them. And then I cut them the other way. Then I get them in that cup. I kind of like my portions, when I have beef stew, I don't like it too beefy. So I like my portions to be about equal amounts of beef, potatoes, and carrots. And I don't necessarily measure totally exact. I mean, if I've got a little bit more of one than the other, that's fine. But I do try to get as close as I can to equal portions. So I'm almost done with my potatoes. Got 2 more potatoes to go. And then I will do my carrots. There's my potatoes. And now I'm just going to do my carrots. Now, as I said, I already prepared all these as far as peeling them. But with the carrots, besides peeling, I also like to cut the ends off, and then I don't use those ends. Now, as you see, this is a very fat carrot. In fact, all of these are kind of fat. So instead of just doing slices, I first want to cut this down like that. And by doing that, I'm not getting too big of carrots. Then I just cut into bite-sized pieces. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut up all my carrots. Once I have my carrots, well, potatoes are already cut. I have my potatoes cut, so once I have my carrots cut, then I'll be ready to show you the rest of how we make this beef stew. I have all of my vegetables now cut. I have my meat in here. Now what I want to do is, in this small bowl, I want to combine my flour, my salt and pepper, and then I'm just going to mix them together. Then I want to use a big spoon or a spatula, and I'm going to dump this onto the meat, and I'm just going to stir this around so that the meat is nice and coated. This flour is going to act as the thickening agent for the sauce. We want it to be mainly coated into the meat. And then as the meat cooks out, it'll help thicken it up. Once I have that in there, I'm going to stir in my garlic, my onion, my Worcestershire sauce, and my paprika. Now, the bay leaf I have right here, but I really don't want to stir that in because I don't want it broken up. It's just going to go on the top after everything's done. Now I want to add my carrots, my potatoes. You'll notice I have everything in the crock pot. I dumped everything in, and then I looked up and noticed that my battery had died on my camera. So, as the battery died, I had shown you the meat and I had dumped the flour onto the meat. From there, I then added all the other ingredients, including the broth, and I'm just stirring it together so that the meat and the potatoes and the carrots and the onions are evenly distributed. Now it doesn't really look like there's a lot of liquid in there because it's all down lower, but as it cooks up, there will become more liquid. Now the last thing I want to do is take my bay leaf and just put it in there. Then all I'm going to do is put the lid on it. My crock pot is one that I can set a timer. This is going to go in the fridge just like this overnight. When I get up tomorrow morning before I go to work, I'm going to put it in here and I'm going to set it for 12 hours. If I'm not home from work and ready to eat in 12 hours, it will flip to a warm setting. I'm going to cook this for 12 hours and then I'll show you just how scrumptious it is. I don't have to make any other sauce when I'm done. When it's done cooking after that 12 hours, it's done. Our crock pot has been plugged in and cooking for about 12 hours. So we're ready now to look at our stew and see if it's done. Here's our stew. I just want to take that bay leaf out because you don't want someone to eat that. And then I'm just going to stir this up. Make sure it's all mixed in well. And as you can see, that is cooked and ready to go. Now all we need to do is dish it up on a plate and it's ready to go. So with this beef stew, if I get 10 servings out of this, I'm going to come in at only 278 calories. I'm basing that on a 1 cup serving. I'm not sure yet if it's going to quite make 10, so the calorie count may go up. In my blog, on the writing, I will tell you just how many calories it is once I've divided this up and I know how many servings I get from it. This is Nadine from Happy Eating Healthy, and this is our beef stew. Enjoy and happy eating.